29? 29?
Sorry, that's all.
That's fine. I'm unpaced. Hey guys, welcome to episode 61. That's
29?
No, they're not related. It was just a little vocal stim we did right before we recorded. This is Two Girls Chirping. I'm Lauren.
I'm Abby.
And we've got so much to talk about today. What? I don't know. I've got my own personal list that I'm going to read aloud, and then I'll see what Abby wants to talk about. First of all,
if I'm willing to bet you've got a lot of the same ones.
I don't know, because I'm looking at it right now, and it's basically a fan page to the Blackhawks.
Did you see their black jersey?
Stop it! Don't speak.
Sorry, spoiler.
Took the wind right out of my sails. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Are you going to pout?
Fuck me. Did I just delete that note? How? No, I didn't. I just created a new one. I'm like, I don't remember that button being there. Okay, we went to a Canes game. This is the first time we're recording since then. Also,
yes. I'm sorry.
I just have to share a story with y'all. You're fine. I'm just allowing time for you to stir your coffee.
I appreciate it.
How? That's halfway off. Okay.
We're doing really great.
Thriving. We were awoken at 7 a.m. by our neighborhood chickens, and that led to me ordering a transfer coop because I'm going to rehome those bitches.
These chickens, for reference, they are basically abandoned. Like, someone lives in the house that they generate from, but doesn't take care of them. These chickens just roam the neighborhood.
Just free range.
They just free range. We live in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Like, what the helly? And apparently, like, our neighbors called city council because they come and they screw up Lauren's garden beds and everything, and then just shit everywhere. Yeah, and then they just scream.
And they're giving our
at
neighbors
the butt crack of dawn.
They're giving our neighbors' dogs fleas too,
Yeah.
which I don't even know how that's possible.
I don't either, but sorry.
So yeah, I'm going to commit a minor crime, but a bigger crime has been committed against me. And as a non-professional per Trump in the career of nursing, you know, I'm just a hospitality worker at this point. Anyways, so we were trying to find our seats. Our parents tagged along to the trip, and they had never been to a hockey game.
Sorry.
Yeah, circling back to my original story. And I don't think I ever finished my point. Anyways, we were woken up by these chickens, so we're a little all over the place if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And so back to the Canes game, we were walking to our seats. We were trying to figure it out, trying to herd to like 50-year-old who don't want to listen to us because they think they know everything, but they actually don't know where they are. It's like, hey, over here. No, follow me. Follow me. I'm never wrong. And I'm not. With
Except
directions.
Lauren's like 10 feet ahead of us at all times.
But anyways, this girl, Abby, we were like trying to do that, and Abby steps backward, and I see this woman like walking, like trying, I thought she was trying to walk behind us, and I see Abby walking, like taking a step backwards in slow motion, and I was trying to grab her to not step on this girl, but of course, she stepped right on her.
I mid like breakdown as well. I know we included a short clip at the end of last episode, but if you didn't catch it, this is it.
And so we were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she was like, oh my God, I would know y'all anywhere. I love the podcast. I listen to it all the time. I'm pretty sure she said that she would recognize my hair anywhere. And I want that on my tombstone. I didn't catch
that part because in my mind, I'm like, our parents don't know we have a podcast and they're standing right behind us. So I whip around. I'm doing damage control. By the way, we have a podcast. Flip right back. That's the extent of damage control I did.
So I was just talking with her. And if I had the foresight, if I hadn't have been so like shocked that anyone like recognized us, then I would have asked her to take a picture. Yes. But this is your shout out, Becca. I hope you had a great game. We did look for you later.
I couldn't find you.
I couldn't find you either. But Becca, Erica, and Rachel, and then Tom Dangs went to the night
the night after.
The next night, and they played the Oilers, but they lost to the Oilers. So I'm counting them all in that weekend. Shout out
we had a
to
few
our
girls,
Caniacs.
We had a few girly pops DM us and say like, oh my gosh, I swear I saw y'all walking in, but I didn't want to like be weird and come up and say hey, and I'm like, no,
absolutely not. Come talk to us. We would love to talk.
Yeah, we're going to
my ring. Hold please.
But we're going to a game in Vancouver in like a week and 2.5 weeks. If you see us, come up to us and introduce yourselves.
Please.
We want to meet you.
Don't look at the butt crack of my hair. I'm sure it's out. It 1000% made up for Quinn Hughes and his injured ass. Only to play the next fucking week. Kill me, bro.
Yeah.
That was such bullshit. But that's okay because they won in overtime. And Evander Kane got absolutely his shit rocked. He got knocked over like a toddler. It was amazing to witness. Oh, I just love to see it. And then our sweet father, we're like, did y'all have fun? Blah, 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 blah. Because we're doing a storm surge and all that. And we're walking out. And they're like, that Jackson Blake, he is so fun to watch. And I was like, I know.
Our dad's favorite Kane is Jackson Blake, which I did not pin down. If Brent Burns would have been there, it would have been him.
Brent Burns, my sweet, distant Caniac, gone but never forgotten. Yeah. Okay, so that was note number 1. My second note was the Blackhawks are bringing back the black jerseys, and she's that girl.
She is that girl.
I was black until I was 15. If you don't know that reference, look it up. Connor Bedard.
I think about that so often, actually.
That was like
I was
the
actually
top
black
comments.
until I was 16.
It was 1650, whatever it is. Anyways, they look amazing in it. I wonder, is it possible to put the link to that video in the description of this episode?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be just an absolute whore for these black jerseys and just watch this little hype video because it was so good. And then this is off the cuff, but also Blackhawks related. I have been on, do you remember when I told you about Drag Path?
Yes.
And I was like sent you some videos so you would know. So imagine me innocently scrolling yesterday. And what do I hear but Drag Path? And what do I see but Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves?
Oh.
And I was like, what the fuck? Why would you do this to me?
That's so mean.
I saw a particularly hurtful Drag Path episode with them. It was so good, though. I actually missed them. I miss them all the time. Like a prime Patrick Kane I did see. I wasn't going to comment.
I struggled to get my straw in my mouth.
A prime Kane and Taves. Oh, my God. I wish I could go back in time and watch that.
Yeah, we were so close when we started watching hockey. Or was it just after?
Yeah. Speaking of so close, Connor Bedard.
So close to what? Deluxe?
Deluxe. Her Deluxe is out. If you haven't listened to it, listen to it again. She added 4 more bangers. Well, honestly, 2 more bangers. 2 more good songs.
I've been listening to 2 of the new songs on YouTube for about 6 months now.
Yeah, she's been very excited. Connor Bedard was like, oh my gosh, the refs are finally being nicer to me. He said that in an interview because they were like, do you feel whatever? It doesn't matter. That same fucking week, he gets a misconduct for unsportsmanlike conduct. It was innocent. I didn't even see it. No one hates Connor Bedard more than the refs do. He's just a sassy boy. He's also not wrong sometimes. He has never, ever deserved a misconduct.
Sometimes I wonder, like, he must have a mouth on him.
I know he does.
For the amount of game misconducts he's got.
The amount of game misconducts I would get with my mouth.
For, like, bullying the refs, they'd be like, you're done.
Yeah, I'd probably get fired. Definitely getting fined. That concludes my Blackhawk love note. The Sharks. Guess how many games they've won so far this season?
I know they beat the Kings.
Fuck them. How many games?
I don't know.
10. They've already won 10. They're halfway to their record from last season already, and it's not even December. I did put in parentheses, Randy is not allowed to weigh in on that.
No, Randy,
it will
keep
curse
your
us.
mouth shut. It's too powerful.
Respectfully,
you have too much power.
My king, you cannot speak on my teams.
Yeah. Our Etsy witch.
And then I'm sure we're going to speak on it, but Emma saying that she might have cried when the Golden Eyes won on their opening night was so relatable.
So we're recording this Saturday. PWHL season opened yesterday.
It did.
Seattle and Vancouver played each other. First of all, Sarah Nurse and I believe Nicole Gosling had the first goals for each organization, which honestly is just so fitting.
Tracks.
They did go to overtime, which is also very fitting for the PWHL. Vancouver won 4-3.
Love it.
Oh, my laundry alarm's going off. Let me forget about that for the next 4 hours. I haven't gotten to watch the game because we were at a Friendsgiving, so I don't know. Like, I'm going to watch it today when you leave. Because what else am I going to do? Also, Someone else played last night, too.
Shout out to my NHL players that wore their PWHL team jerseys.
Yeah, there were some
particularly
teams,
Lane Hudson.
Yeah, there were some teams that definitely organized it. I saw
the Canucks.
The Wild organized it. The Canucks organized it. But, like, Jeremy Swayman wore Boston. He was the only one that I saw wear Boston for the Bruins.
He's such a king.
Same with Lane Hudson with the Victoire. Like, the ones that did it without being told to do it, shout out you.
I can't believe Arbor didn't because he said that he works out with Sarah Nurse and Emma Maltese. But you don't want to rep their jersey?
But neither one of them play for Montreal.
But, like, still, you got to rep your friends.
And I get why he didn't wear theirs.
I just think it's kind of lame. I mean, freaking
I wonder if
Will Mac over here are wearing their rivals' jerseys when they lose. That's love.
Different. Toronto and Minnesota are the other teams that played last night. And Toronto beat Minnesota 2-1.
Good.
So, period.
That's all my notes.
I'm a cereal girl. I wish I had boots. What else did I have? Okay, if you're a heated rivalry stan.
Oh my god, I'm such a whore about it.
It's gonna be released in Canada, which obviously it was always gonna be released in Canada, but it's also going to come out in the US, Australia, New Zealand, and Spain.
Get your HBO subscription.
Yes, HBO for
HBO is that hoe.
Yeah,
that's my girl right
truly.
there.
Truly. And then I had a couple more notes. The Pittsburgh-Nashville Global Series, I didn't watch it. It's weird to me they only played 2 games, so the Penguins won one, the Preds won the other. So, like, they tied the Global Series. Just play a third. You're already over there.
I agree.
Play a third, break the tie. I don't like that, actually, but it actually pisses me off.
Okay.
Dylan Strome, I don't know if y'all saw
the Ultimate Girl Dad.
Yeah, the Ultimate Girl Dad. He was playing, I believe it was the game that they played the Canadians. His wife went into labor and had their baby during the game. And I'll link that video too, since we're already linking videos. I'll link it as well. It's so cute, him in the locker room announcing the name of the baby and all of the guys cheer. It was adorable.
It was very sweet.
It was so adorable. I don't think that we have talked about the Jack Hughes window incident or the
if you hear that teenager's motorbike in the back, no you don't. Just ignore it.
I don't think it'll pop up. Jack Hughes, though, real quick, broke his hand on a window. Didn't break his hand on a window. Cut his hand open on a window. Had to have surgery on it and is out for a bit.
I thought it was
a glass window. From what I saw, he was leaning up against a window and it shattered and cut his hand.
God, I guess he's been bulking up, eh? That little string bang.
Also, there's rumors, because we already talked about Tate McRae. There's a picture, and people are saying, oh, it's Jack Hughes on a date with Tate McRae. I don't think that is Tate McRae.
Listen, we know her body. We know what she looks like. We've seen it up close and personal. That is not Tate McRae.
I don't think that's Tate McRae. Like, at all. Also, she was
I'm willing to stand 7 toes down that that's not Tate McRae.
I would be shocked if Tate McRae dated another hockey player after the shit that went down with Cole Sillinger.
She's not taking her extensions out to go on a date with Jack Hughes.
Her hair's much longer than
also
that.
The blonde in that girl's hair is way further down than Tate's ever is. Like,
yeah.
And I can speak on that because I'm going to get my hair done because my hair is so grown out and it's so dark.
So we're calling fake news on that front. Mm-hmm. But speaking of freak injuries, Eetu Luostarinen is out with no timeline for return after a barbecuing incident, like at home, I guess. Sounds like he burned his hand.
He probably got second, probably some scattered threes. He's going to need grafting.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit. It's going to be at least a couple months.
That's
unless for some reason it's like very superficial, but normally if you barbecue your hand, you're not to be too lighthearted, but you're cooked, bro.
You remember when our dad did that to his hand?
Yeah, when he was smoking a chicken, burnt the fuck out of his hand. Yes.
Yeah. And then Charlie McAvoy is out again for
what?
He was hit in the mouth by a puck off of Noah Dobson's shot, and he had to have facial repairs made.
Bro, can we sage him? Is he evil? Like, what is his karma?
Look, Randy, this is something you can weigh in on with your Etsy witch powers.
I need Emma and Rachel to let me know if that man is actually evil, because I trust them. And Rachel is deep in the Reddit and the Twitter. She'll know. Because, like, that doesn't make a lot of sense, and he seems super nice, but dear God, he is
You know, the other day we were having a random conversation, and we were like, is Jack Hughes still with that girl?
No, literally, we were talking about it.
And I was like, I know who will know. Rachel. So I guess we actually got our answer with this whole picture of him, because I don't think that's her either.
Look,
but I don't know.
I don't know if that's a date or not.
That was a date. If that wasn't a date, side eye.
If it was a date, good on you for dating not normal. Good on you for dating healthy looking women.
Yeah.
We love to see it.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Absolutely.
But, like, she didn't look enough like his mom from the back for him to really be interested, you know, historically speaking.
Who said that?
Me. A fellow middle child.
Well, we're doing something a little different today. I got the inspiration. There's this true crime podcast that we listen to called Morbid.
I love
and
Morbid.
They do listener tales where, listeners literally write whatever. They do more supernatural, like true crimey type things. And so listeners will write in their own stories and they'll read them.
I love Morbid.
Yeah. I love Morbid too. And I was just like, okay, look, I went on Reddit the other day, specifically down a whole rabbit hole.
Oh my God, I forgot we were doing this. Okay, I'm excited.
Yeah. Specifically down a whole rabbit hole of, like, the most unknown, like, chaotic stories to come out of the world of hockey. And I went down a rabbit hole fact-checking these, and we're going to talk about a couple of them. And I could easily make this into a series, so if you like it, let me know.
And if you know any little stories, any little lore that you would like to send us, send us an email or DM us with it.
Please. Our email is twogirlschirping@gmail.com.
It's easy peasy.
Or you can DM us or whatever floats your boat. But
so that's whatever floats your boat.
I know, but people also say whatever floats your goat.
I've never in my life heard that. Has anyone heard that before?
I'll just shut my bitch ass up then. So I have drafted 3. I don't know if we're going to get through all 3. There's one, though, that's so freaking funny to me that I have to share it with you. It's just a bit longer.
Okay.
We're going to start off with Jeremy Roenick's prank on some rookies that went just like a little too far.
Wow, that's so unlike the NHL.
It's so unlike Jeremy Roenick to go just a little too far. If you don't like suspenseful stories, because I don't know if it's scary, because we know it's a prank, you could probably skip this episode. Because of the second story I'll give a trigger warning once we get to that one, actually.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She said, we know this. I don't know anything. I just know that she's been excited
You don't
about
know
this.
anything? I literally read this. I read a couple articles about it. I'll just attach these. I think Randy was like, oh, I would love to see the mess of PowerPoint. So I'll probably start attaching those. And I'll attach this, and it's got the links to the articles that I referenced on here. I'm not citing my sources other than, like, putting a link in there. I can't do
Plagiarism.
MLA. I'm not doing MLA format. Like, I'm
MLA
sorry,
format's
guys.
terrible. APA is superior.
See, I always had to do MLA.
That's because that's the traditional English preference. But for anything healthcare related and typically anything like graduate school, which, I'm not a professional anymore, so I don't get graduate loans anymore.
Yeah.
You do APA. I've got a whole book on it. It's so easy. I am very passionate about APA format. It makes your life so much easier.
Live, laugh, love. Okay.
I'm a freak.
This is going to be a lot of reading on my end.
As opposed to normal.
Yeah, normal I put bullet points. This I've written a story.
Oh my God, okay.
Just because I wanted to be able to read it. Once upon a time.
In a kingdom far, far away.
Yeah, once upon a time, for real though, I actually did have it in our schedule to talk about Jeremy Roenick, and it was going to be like the most controversial player to be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. And then I took it out because I looked into him more and I was like, you kind of suck.
I don't think I'm familiar with him. I'm
okay.
about to be.
It's okay. I just wanted to give you some perspective before we go into this.
He's a piece of shit. Got it.
Yeah, but he was very, very talented. So, This story follows, of course, Jeremy Roenick, but also Tori Mitchell and Devin Sotinjuki. I put a pronunciation. I still don't think I said that right. Hang on. We're going to call him Devin.
Okay.
I'll pop it up on the screen, the spelling. So Tori Mitchell, a little background on him. He played 10 seasons back and forth between the NHL and the AHL. He played for the San Jose Sharks for 4, the Wild for 2, the Sabres for 2, the Canadiens for 4, and finished his career with the Kings. Some seasons were split between teams. And then he retired in 2019 after a concussion while playing in the Swiss League. He was 34 years old. He had a really bad concussion, and the doctors basically were like, I don't think that it is best for you to continue to play hockey.
But you're going to die.
And honestly, some players need to retire at that point, but they still continue to play. So at least he did actually retire. He has a new podcast called Pre-Game Twirl with his friend Connor Wood. And they have actually interviewed a few Canadiens players, including Brendan Gallagher and Jeremy Roenick and Kent Hughes. Yeah. And I haven't listened to any of the podcasts, but I was like, oh,
I can't remember what the word is. It's not feminist, but the one where I do think women are better than men. So like I have a really hard time listening to a male podcast.
Did you see the Kachuk brothers are starting a podcast?
I didn't see that, but I was told that. I want to say Amelia told me that.
I
don't
am
recall.
Choosing to ignore that.
The last thing they want to be. Who's the Kelsey? They want to be the Kelsey brothers so freaking bad.
They do want to be the Kelseys so bad.
I apologize. It wasn't Amelia. It was Kate. It was Kate who told us. She sent us B Sports thing about it. And I said, because I am a petty bitch, I said, girl, the last thing 1 and thumb 2 need is more time to talk.
Yeah. Devin played 9 seasons in the NHL, so they all had very long seasons. Or very long careers, because Jeremy Roenick played 20.
Golly.
Yeah. But Devin played for the Sharks, the Wild, Calgary, and the Kings. So they all kind of played.
Oh, they played for like the same little vibe. Okay.
Yeah. He has been now, because he's since retired, we'll talk a tiny bit about it. He has since opened up a lot about how he struggled with alcohol abuse, especially in the later stages of his career. And then he voluntarily went to rehab in 2015.
Good.
He said he already had a drinking problem, though, when he started playing for the Wild in 2011. Things came to a head when he was in Calgary and he got demoted to their AHL team. And at some airport bar, he started drinking with like a random old man. And he said that was hours after he was like, I'm going to get sober.
He got shwasted at the bar.
He got shwasted enough to start coughing up blood, and 4 days later, he checked himself.
He does esophageal varices. Do you know how bad of an alcoholic you have to be for that? That's normally when you're about to die.
Yeah, 4 days later, he checked himself into a rehab. As far as I can tell, he has stayed sober.
Good for you.
Yeah, and after a year in rehab and out of the NHL, he decided he wanted to give it another shot. And the LA Kings, actually, who was an hour drive from the rehab that he checked himself into, their arena was, they gave him a chance. And he played a couple games, and then he full-on retired.
I was about to say, so this is just more promo to get me to be a Kings fan.
Yeah.
I am digging my feet into the ground. There is nothing special about them, and I will not be involved with them. I've already got my controversial support of the Blackhawks and Capitals when they deserve it. That's the only problem children I can deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. The only note I have about Jeremy Roenick, played 20 seasons, 8 with the Blackhawks, 6 with the Coyotes, the Flyers, the Kings, and then he finished his season with the Sharks as these two were coming into the Sharks.
So he played for some villain teams. Got it.
Yeah. My other note.
He's an asshole.
Kind of seems like a shitty person, and we certainly don't align on many fronts, but some would say he was really good.
I mean, personally, I like my hockey players to be good people.
Yeah.
But, I'm just funny like that. Just whimsical.
Yeah. So now we find ourselves in 2008, the off season. This was like 2 weeks before the season started. All three were playing for the Sharks, and Roenick was actually preparing for his final season in the NHL. Mitchell and Devin, who were 23 and 22 or 21 respectively, were wrapping up their rookie seasons. So they were fresh. Mm-hmm. There was always some like typical hazing per Mitchell, and said you really only spoke to veterans when they spoke to you.
That seems super toxic.
Right. And
that's not my Sharks.
And he recalled having to carry Jeremy Roenick's bags for 60 of the games.
Well, like that kind of stuff and like cleaning up after practice and stuff, that's fine.
Yeah.
I know that that's normal.
Yeah.
Not being able to talk to someone unless spoken to. Okay, Mom.
Yeah. All of that aside, they did both say that Roenick kind of took them under his wing and invited them to his home multiple times a week, and they lived down the street from each other, and so they would have dinner. So I'm like, interesting.
That must be one of the men things that just doesn't click for me.
Yeah,
because if you said that kind of shit to me, I'd be like, got it. I'll never talk to you again. Yeah. Don't put me on a line with him.
Yeah. So it's August 2008. We're in Las Vegas just before training camp.
Okay.
After playing cards all night,
This is the Kings? This is when he plays for the Kings?
The Sharks.
Oh, okay. I did understand it correctly. Sorry.
Yeah. They received an invite at the cards table to an exclusive event by a man who had been playing with them all night. Mm-hmm. And he told them not to tell anybody about the invite and that there's an access code at the door called Dakota. Everybody was super excited. They then got like a limo to drive them to this mansion.
Hell no. That's the type of shit that men do.
Yeah.
Never.
Tori Mitchell said that he had a weird vibe though. Like the second they walked into this place, they made them put on jackets. Like I think it was like a leather suit jacket type situation. And everybody, like it wasn't a Las Vegas party. Like everybody was talking quiet amongst themselves, which is just even weirder. Mitchell also said that there was some strange music and everybody there was looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing here? And the atmosphere was really weird. And just like kept saying these vibes are off. He turned to Jeremy Roenick at one point too and he was like, let's get out of here. This is not the type of party I was thinking of. To which Jeremy was like, calm down. You're being dramatic.
I'm going to calm down in the limo that's taking me home right now.
No, literally.
I'll start walking.
I will walk. The host of the party walked up to the three of them and was basically like, what are you doing here? And shouting at them like, you're not supposed to be here. What's the password? And Mitchell said that he responded like any normal person would and started going, Dakota, the password's Dakota. Meanwhile, Devin Stucci's just staying quiet.
You.
Which, me. I literally said me for real. After a little while, Mitchell was still wanting to leave. The host came back to the room with like a woman, just a random woman, and was showing her off to everybody. And he came around to the three of them and said, do you think she's going to be good?
Die.
None of them knew how to respond. 10 minutes later, a waitress starts walking around. The girl's gone. A waitress starts walking around with glasses full of a thick red liquid.
I fucking knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
I am shitting myself.
Yeah, which Tori didn't drink it.
Period.
He stuck his finger in it and said, this is blood. He jumped. This is so funny. He jumps up right as the lights dim and all of the guests put on masks.
Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. I'm out of there.
A door opens and shows a dismembered body on a table. Kind of set up as like a charcuterie board situation.
A charcuterie board?
Yeah. And
did they skin her and then make the little roses that they do with like the roast beef?
No, there's just like food surrounding her body.
Oh, okay.
And the guest started eating the food. And Mitchell was like, these motherfuckers are vampires. Can we also just take a moment?
They're cannibals, at least.
I just want to take a moment, too, because Devin this whole time has not said a freaking word. He is just sitting there.
He's shut down.
Silent. Tori Mitchell said he started screaming absolute nonsense at Jeremy Roenick. Jeremy Roenick jumps up and starts running. But a security guard stepped in and stabbed him in the chest, and he collapsed on the floor in a pool of his own blood.
What the fuck?
So, Devin Stucci, whatever your fucking last name is, finally broke his silence, just screaming bloody murder.
You.
No, literally me. And Mitchell decided to run and hide under the bar, screaming at guests basically to stay away from him.
Not his fight or flight being high.
No, because he did see a small window on the other side of the room. He ran and jumped head first through this window into this like garden area and took off running.
He said, every man for yourself.
No, literally. He's running. He said he like didn't even realize how much he ran, but it was like probably
he's a high performance
out of
athlete.
The neighborhood. And all of a sudden he hears he registers his phone ringing, and he's like, what the hell? And he just kept running. And then he hears horse feet like clanking on the pavement. And Jeremy Roenick shouting.
They're hunting him?
No, because Jeremy Roenick runs up on a horse yelling, Mitchie, what are you doing?
What the fuck? You're dead, bro. What are you doing?
And he said, aren't you dead?
That's so real.
And Roenick was like, no, this was all just a joke.
What the fuck? That is not funny in the least bit.
A fucking prank.
That's not funny.
He had planned out.
Who?
Dude.
Whomst among us would find that in the flavor of humor? Other than that sick fuck.
This is Jeremy Roenick for you.
How much budget did he allow for that?
He had a lot of money.
Where did he get a dismembered body?
So he had planned out every single detail, like down to the person at the blackjack table that invited them to the party, down to the jackets that they were put on to wear. I think there was like some show that he took inspiration from, and he was like, oh my gosh, I can do my own thing to submit to this show. And so the whole thing was mic'd and videoed as well.
That is so fucked up.
All of it. But the footage never saw the light of day because Sharks CEO Doug Wilson was like, no, abso-fucking-lutely not. This is not getting out there right now. Granted, later, Doug Wilson was asked about that, and he was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about? How many players do you have doing that type of shit? I know I said did they skin her and fold it up into roses like they do for the meat on charcuterie boards, but that shit is fucked.
Yeah. Bro, I would be so
what?
pissed. I would be
I'm
so pissed.
sorry I'm yelling. That like genuinely was mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And that's real?
Yeah, that actually happened. It was all a freaking prank.
That's not funny. What did they do? Did they ever talk to him again?
I mean, yeah, they had to play a whole season with him.
I would be like, don't talk to me unless it's about hockey. Don't ever sit by me. Don't ever attempt. This is beyond any repair.
I would Uno reverse that and be like, don't talk to me unless I speak to you first.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
Here's my bill for therapy.
I read that.
Sick fuck.
I read that and I was like, how have I never heard this?
Well, they buried it like they bury all crimes in the NHL.
And honestly, like, to be completely honest, when I am, like, doing my notes or whatever, I will look at people's Wikipedia pages just to see, like, what kind of crazy shit people put on there. I think I said this in our last episode, too, didn't I?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, I don't remember either. And then I fact check it. And if I can't find, like, a reliable article, I'll get rid of it and I just won't include it because people can put anything on Wikipedia.
Period.
And so you would think that this story would be on their Wikipedia pages. It's not. They, like, really buried this thing. But
I'm sure you had everyone sign an NDA.
Not out of my reach.
You thought, bitch. Scooby, do your ass. You would have gotten away from it. You would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for this trifling hoe.
Trifling hoe in question. Dude. And I actually got through that way quicker than I thought I was going to. I think the long one that I was thinking of was the hijacking of the CBC station.
I'm pretty sure that when you edit it, it's only me screaming and like
you were like
I was like clenching my thighs like that would make it like not as nerve-wracking because what the fuck do you mean that was a prank?
Yeah, he jumped headfirst through a window.
Where did you get the blood from?
Also, Devin just silently in shock the whole time, and the only thing that we heard from Devin was a scream.
Do you know in Moana where the chicken, they're like out in the ocean, and then the chicken gets out and it looks around and goes, ah!
No, literally, that's what
exactly what I
Devin.
imagine.
Bro. Freaking insane. Hang on, I need a sip of my coffee.
I don't need any more caffeine right now. I'm good.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out which story I want to do next.
I'm scared.
I think, because this is a short one. I want to talk about the hijacking of CBC Station.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Spoiler, this one doesn't have a very happy ending.
Oh, people die. Got it.
Also, trigger warning, it's not a shooting, but there is, like, being held at gunpoint in this.
Just another classic Monday.
And then there is, like, a suspected murder at the end.
Okay. Just your typical run-of-the-mill American experience.
Yeah. No, literally, but this happened in Canada.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even think they had guns out there.
We'll get to that point.
Okay.
We'll get to that, too. Let's get to know some people in this story as well. First of all... Roy Spencer, he was a retired Army veteran.
Period. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, in the Canadian forces. But still, I don't know much about the Canadian military. I'm sorry.
I know that Brent Burns' brother is on the Canadian SWAT version they have, and he's a baddie. That family genes don't miss. Those genetics are sublime.
Yeah.
Sublime.
So he became a mechanic after leaving the military. We know also that he had a twin set of boys, Brian and Byron. That's
evil work.
That's hard.
Why would you do that?
I'm not sure about any marriage, any other kids. There's not much else on him other than this. Unfortunately, he kind of went down for his actions later on.
Oh, just kidding. I don't thank you for your service. My bad.
Yeah, I think we'll talk more about it at the end. Second up is Brian Spencer, son of Roy. Mm-hmm. Son of Roy. He was one of the twins and a future NHL player, actually.
Okay.
Spoiler. So they
honey.
they are from British Columbia. Of course, it was natural. They started playing hockey. And Roy really encouraged it because they lived in a very isolated portion of British Columbia with some rough conditions. Apparently, Fort St. James, all I've seen is there's really only mining and logging out there. So, like, mechanical work that their dad started doing.
Hard labor.
It's 600 miles north of Vancouver.
Hell nah, man.
So, there really isn't that much.
I like the cities.
Yeah, and apparently they can have lows of negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Catch me inside.
I would literally die.
There's not enough pair of socks for you on the planet.
Yeah. So Roy encouraged them to like be active to kind of take away from the horrible environment that they lived in. And it worked because Brian in 1969 was drafted 55th overall to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay.
He was a right wing. He actually played 9 games with the Leafs that season after he was drafted, but he did spend the majority of the time in their Central League team in Oklahoma. At this point, he had also developed the nickname Brian Spinner Spencer because he played very physical. He was not afraid to yeet your ass. And he was a big momentum building player, so he would spin the game around.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And he was called up again to the NHL December 9th, 1970, and had a 4-0 win over the Canadians. He was then set to play the Blackhawks December 12th, 1970, and he called his dad to let him know that he'd be playing. Roy was obviously very thrilled to see his son play in the NHL. Proud parent moment. This is also the 70s, though, so it's not like streaming's not the same as it is now. But he invited a group of his friends over. He was apparently very introverted, but he was so excited. He invited his friends over so they could all watch the game together. He got a special antenna to connect to the CBC network and watch the games. Unfortunately, he turned on CBC, and they were showing the Canucks Golden Seals game, which is Golden Seals, that's a throwback.
That is a blast from the past, but it is the 70s.
And that's kind of where things took a turn.
Okay.
He was so angry because he had invited all these people over and he wasn't going to get to see his son play because I think this was his first televised game as well.
Allegedly televised.
It was televised, just not in Vancouver. So he decided to drive to the closest station. First, it seems like he called the station. We have not confirmed that it was him that called the station. But Gary Nairn, who, I don't know what his role was there, said that he received a phone call earlier in the afternoon from an irate listener saying he was angry about our not carrying the Toronto broadcast, called me names, and threatened to come down to the station later. He actually wasn't there when this whole incident goes down, though.
Oh, God.
Something, held him up at home. So he...
Divine intervention.
Yeah, the closest CBC station was an hour and a half away.
Okay.
He also brought a gun.
Where did he get the gun?
An automatic pistol, as a matter of fact, which automatic weapons have been illegal in Canada since 1977. So after this event. In the U.S., they've been illegal since 1986.
Ain't nothing illegal here.
With the exception of machine guns.
Obviously.
Why are machine guns the exception? Anyways, so he arrived at the station. There was a reporter outside that he ran into in the parking lot, Tom Hurdle, and he asked him why the game wasn't being streamed, and apparently Hurdle was so off guard, and Roy was obviously letting off a very angry energy.
We did not have coping mechanisms.
No. And so he didn't give him an answer because he was like, what is even happening right now? So Roy storms into the building, barges past the front desk, and he noticed the receptionist, God, not me quivering, the receptionist. He noticed the receptionist pick up the phone, assumed she was trying to call the police because he's got a gun in his hand. And so he held the gun to her head, grabbed the phone, and pulled the line out before continuing. Actually, there's 2 articles that I got, one that follows his story and one that gets the people that were in the station gets their side of it all. Mm-hmm. And she says Carol Fawcett, which her husband actually also worked at the station.
Oh, no.
So Carol said, he lunged towards me, pulled the wires out of the console, and grabbed the phone. As he grabbed the phone from me, the phone hit her on the side of the face, and she just flattened herself to the wall behind her, not knowing what to do. She was completely petrified, fair enough. And he walked down the hall. She said, and at that point, I ran as fast as I could to the television studio, flung the studio doors open, and wanted to tell them that there was a man at the front desk with a gun. And I was just going, God, I couldn't speak, which honestly, fair, Carol. He got to the newsroom, aimed the gun at the newsmen, Stu McAllister and John Ray. He then turned to Stu Fawcett, Carol's husband, who was the news director, and just demanded him to take the game off the air. Okay. He was like, if I don't get to watch the game, nobody gets to watch any games.
Sure, that's rational.
Right? Isn't it? And Don Prentice, the programming director, actually stepped in and tried to calm the situation down because he was like, what can we do here? Because
take the game off and put the other one on.
This is crazy.
Exactly like he said.
Yeah. And so he then turned to him with the gun and said, I'm very disturbed about CBC's coverage. There's going to be a revolution unless it changes.
Okay. Sit your ass down and shut the hell up.
Yeah. Prentice,
A revolution.
Yeah.
That's our deal.
It's you with one gun, guys.
It's you, an unhinged man, threatening innocent and unarmed people.
Yeah.
That's an act of terrorism.
Yeah. Prentice later told the police that Spencer was stone cold sober in this moment. Like, he didn't look under the influence. He didn't look irate, but he was shaking like a leaf. And when he first came into the newsroom, he seemed steady, very steady. He didn't seem all together, but he still had pretty good control. Later, he was shaky, his speech was jerky, and he seemed mentally disturbed. So it's kind of like...
No fucking shit.
You got in over your head, brother.
Well, he probably has a not insignificant amount of PTSD from his active military service, I would imagine.
Yeah, because he did say... quote, I don't want to kill anyone. I've killed before. I've killed many times, and the commandos just turn the TV off.
Okay.
So I'm like, brother,
that's a very easy solution, I feel.
I also feel.
I would have turned that bitch off so fast.
Yeah. I
would have turned that thing off so fast.
He did have all 8 news crew members lined up against the wall, but Don Prentice gave the command to shut off the broadcast. Roy finally seemed somewhat pleased, left the newsroom and the building. But he didn't know that police had swarmed the building.
How were they notified?
So, oh God, where did it go? Someone notified them randomly. Like, I think when I read that when he was shaking, I don't know why I didn't put this in here. I think that they noticed that he was like getting shaky and uneasy, and they was somehow like were able in his disturbed moment to get in contact with the police. I am not sure who was able to do it, but someone did. He walks outside. Corporal Roger Post was actually in charge of this whole police swarming situation, and he said that they didn't want to use force. They wanted to see if they could just get him to surrender first. Mm-hmm. And so he actually took his gun belt off and was just like holding it. But Spence noticed it and then shot his gun holster, and then fired another shot which hit Constable David Petrucciani. That's a hard one to say. In the foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The officers then responded with 4 gunshots of their own.
Exactly.
Effectively ending his life.
He ended his life the moment he chose violence.
Yeah, because he hadn't shot anybody up until that point. Like, he could have easily just dropped the gun. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, he did walk into a building with a gun and hold it at multiple people, but that's way different than
a cornered animal.
Someone. Brian's mother did tell him about his father's passing the next day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and the Toronto GM offered to pay for the first plane ride home for him, and he was like, no, I want to play. My dad would have wanted me to play. I'll play.
He wanted you to play so bad that he was willing to kill other people and die for it.
Yep. Yes. And
oh my God. How do you even handle that news? That would be so humiliating.
Yeah.
And devastating.
Yeah. So I'll just say it now. I mean, there's definitely like a mental illness aspect to it all. Like for multiple generations, it seems like. Because Brian is not free from poor decisions as well, as I'm going to touch on that in a second as too. WBUR said, like, called out the fact that there's not a lot of resources for trauma victims in the 70s, whether receptionists or pro athletes, the two of them, because this did very much alter Brian's life.
Yeah, how could it not?
Yeah. Carol Fawcett said she internalized hers for years. She didn't realize how debilitating that it could be until she trained to be a trauma counselor after these events.
Oh, wow. Good for her.
What a girl boss. Truly. And they also, here's a quote from her, I realized then how much it had indeed impacted most of my life with that fear, because I did live with fear, and I seem to be easily put in the state of fear in a whole lot of settings. Yeah, mental illness they did confirm alcoholism and mental illness ran in that family. That matched with the PTSD from being in the military in the 70s. There are a lot of interesting stories about Brian from his previous teammates. They seemed to really like guns, and he would collect a lot of guns, and he would love to take them places and show them off to people. So
Hate that.
But the only story I'm going to include is from Fired Up Network, where his teammate said Spencer was eager to play the full most of the time, but like he was very aware of what he was doing.
Eager to play the full. I would never be able to come back from being eviscerated like that. Jeez.
Yeah. One of his teammates said, one of the scariest moments of my whole career was when I started asking questions and I asked about his father.
Why would you do that?
He snapped and said, you know what happened to my father? He got killed. You know that, right? Someone will eventually pay for that. Gritted his teeth and his eyes were bugging out of his head. He clicked out, but then calmed down very quickly. He was very erratic with his emotions.
Yeah, because he doesn't know how to emote properly.
Yeah. So for Brian's side of the story, after spending quite a bit of time in the NHL after that whole event with his father, he was sent down to the AHL. On top of that, Brian's second marriage wasn't going very well either. So he left his second wife, and their children and moved down to the South.
He is a Southern boy.
Yeah, he moved to Florida. He's a Florida guy for sure. He moved to Florida, started living in a trailer, kept a low profile, stopped taking care of his children, didn't contribute anything to any of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and he fell back on mechanical work like his father once did. Yeah, he did inevitably get divorced from his second wife, for sure, and didn't no child support, nothing. He also picked up a drinking problem, which had already kind of been a problem, but got worse. In between 1980 and 1985, he was actually charged with 5 DUIs.
Take his fucking keys at 3.
Literally.
1 is an accident.
5
2
and
is
5
an idiot.
years.
3, you clearly don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You clearly shouldn't be making your own decisions.
Yeah, and he started a, quote, relationship with an escort. They said it was like a friendship, but they were living together in his trailer.
So he became a pimp?
It's a very I don't know. But one night she actually came back and told him about a client that she had that she literally feared for her life around, and she was worried that he would follow her home.
That would be a really bad day for that guy too.
Yeah, well, then the two of them drove around to where he was normally around to pick her up, and picked him up and drove him out to an isolated section of the highway where they dropped him off. His body was discovered the next day with 2 gunshots to the head, and the prosecutor actually gave Diane Delina, who was said roommate, the escort, partial immunity if she would testify against him. 5 years later, they finally bring charges against Brian for kidnapping and murdering Michael Dalfo. Delina testified at this point too. She had already she had kids and gotten married and had a whole different life, and her husband had no idea about her past life. Yeah. And so she was very hesitant, and the prosecutors basically were like, we gave you this deal. You either testify or you go to jail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not their fault that your marriage is based on secrets.
Yeah. But she testified. She did say that she didn't hear gunshots.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
Even with a silencer, you're going to hear something if you're in the middle of nowhere. From 2 Southerners.
But because of that, and the fact that no murder weapon was found, they did not find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Perfect.
And so he went out. And I think he's continued to live under the radar. Another interesting quote from his best friend, Rick Martin. And this is just they really protect their own. He said, we had an idea he might have known who did it, but he did not do it. To get Spin pissed enough to kill someone, he would do it with his bare hands and certainly would not use a puny caliber gun, sorry. I'm like, that's a crazy thing for you to say. Oh, he would have killed him, but he would have done it with his bare hands, not a gun.
Oof. I don't really have a lot of words.
I know.
I want to know more about why she was so scared of that guy.
Yeah, so Brian Spencer has died in early June of 1988. He was out with a friend, Greg Cook, in Riviera Beach. Not a great place to be after dark, apparently. Two men had they had both spent hours at the bar and bar hopping, and they had bought some crack that they were going to do.
Naturally.
You know, casual.
As one does.
Cook was driving, and Spencer had dropped some cigarettes on the floor of the truck, so they pulled over, turned the light on, and a truck pulled up next to them, pinning them in, and basically tried to rob them at gunpoint. Cook gave the guys money. It was $3. That's all the money that they had, which is crazy.
I'm like, this seems like the type of moment that Brian's been waiting for his whole life.
I know. But Brian Spencer refused to comply and told the robbers basically fuck off.
Yeah.
He was shot. The bullet traveled through his arm, through his lung, to his heart, and into his liver. Which, it is crazy to me the way that those bullets travel like that.
Just one bullet? Couldn't have been.
I think it may have been multiple.
It definitely was.
Yeah. But that's how he died. On the side of the interstate.
He said, I'm going to stand my ground.
He died on the side of the interstate just like
the thing
Michael
is,
Delfo did.
The thing is, I would do the same thing. I would die the exact same way. Because I'd be like, no, you're not going to fucking bully me into giving up my belongings, you worthless piece of shit.
I'd be like, here you go.
Go contribute to society.
I'd be like, do we need to go to an ATM?
No, I'd be like, you're going to have to kill me.
I don't think you actually would, though, if it came down to it.
I would be like, get the fuck out of my face.
See, my thing is, like, well, I guess the car pinned them in, so they couldn't like, drive off. Because I'm like...
I would have just driven that truck right into them and crushed them in between the cars. Like, there's ways. In no way are you getting my money. Worked hard for that. That's just the American in me.
Yeah.
You would cave. And if
like,
someone else was with me...
You want my car?
If someone else was with me, like, I probably would, because all they'd really have to do is be like, I'm going to kill your sister. And I'd be like, no, you're not.
The fuck you are.
But that's also why stay strapped. Got weapons of mass destruction right here. Right here, girl.
I'm trying to see what we're going to talk about next week.
Are those the 3 stories?
Those are 2 of them. I have another one that's short, but we've been talking for an hour.
I mean,
do you want me to
the
tell
first
it?
20 minutes was kind of just babble.
Yeah. Do you want me to share the third? The third is very, very short.
You know how I feel about the number 3.
And it's a much lighter story. I mean,
Brian sucks.
Kind of. It's a quick one, though. This story actually comes out of the AHL from the 2012-2013 season. There was a 23-year-old Dustin Tokorski. God, words are so hard sometimes. He played for the Syracuse Crush. God,
yeah,
I'm off to a great start. That's Tampa Bay's AHL affiliate. At least at this time it was. Background on him. At the time that this event happened, he had actually played 7 games for the NHL for Tampa Bay over 2 seasons. He's a goaltender. Okay. I feel like I should say. But he primarily played for the AHL. The previous season, he had won the Calder Cup Championship.
Cute.
Which is their Stanley Cup for the AHL. He would go on to play 26 NHL games for the Canadiens, a game for the Ducks, 42 for the Sabres, and 4 for the Penguins, and 6 for the Hurricanes. He is currently on contract with the Hurricanes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He doesn't...
What's his name again?
Dustin Tokorski. Yeah, he played those 6 games with the Hurricanes last season.
And period.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Yeah. He hasn't played any this one, though. Side note. Oh, this is where I wrote that side note about the Wikipedia thing. We didn't say it. I just wrote it. This also isn't mentioned in his Wikipedia page, which is kind of crazy to me.
Okay.
So, October 2012, like I said, early on in the season, just a few hours before the game, he gets in his car, starts driving to the arena before the game, but he was meant to start in net, and then he was carjacked at Knifepoint.
How?
Okay, I can't really find many details on it. The police transcript is not public. I tried. I also requested it, but I haven't gotten it.
Oh my God.
It's gotta be like he stopped to get something from a gas station or something, and because my thing
or
is,
he didn't look in his back seat,
or he didn't
men
look in his
aren't raised
back
the same
seat.
we are.
That's fair, but also like if I'm in my car and you're standing next to my car, like get out with a knife.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm driving away. Especially if
just
I'm,
like open your car door into them too, like bah.
Especially if I'm a hockey player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho, that being said, I have to assume it was before he
Not
got...
to victim shame.
I have to assume it was before he got in his car, or like... I assume he wasn't in his car alone if it was when he was in his car.
The audacity to carjack and a professional athlete.
A professional athlete.
They are built so thick.
With a knife.
With a knife, too.
Knife.
In this country?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, obviously he had to call the police and file a police report because, he was carjacked at Knifepoint, and that took quite a bit. Keep in mind, he was supposed to be starting in net. He somehow managed to make it to the arena just minutes before puck drop.
Love that.
They had already put the backup goaltender in because they didn't know if he was going to get there or not, and so he wasn't going to play.
He didn't call the team after he called the police?
Well, the team knew, but they put the backup in because they didn't know when he was going to get there. Okay. And it was minutes before puck drop that he got there. Well, he did get to end up playing after they were down 5-0.
Woo.
A line brawl broke out, including both goaltenders.
Love a goalie fight.
Both goaltenders were
so
ejected, and so he went into play earlier in the second period. He proceeded to have 14 saves, didn't allow a single goal, and the Crush managed to score and win 6-5 in overtime.
Daggum.
Right?
Look at him go.
And someone made jokes. I think it's a running joke that whenever he's not playing well, they're like, we need to get him robbed at Knifepoint so that he'll
we need to get that adrenaline going.
Let's get it going. Let's carjack him at Knifepoint. I saw somewhere else on Reddit. They were like, yeah, I heard that became a ritual, a game day ritual. It was part of his routine to get carjacked at Knifepoint.
Oh my God.
And that's a much lighter one to end on too.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad for that. That was a nice palate cleanser.
Yeah, it was just a short one.
I have more questions about
Jeremy Roenick.
Fuck that guy. I have no questions for him.
Yeah.
No questions. I have many concerns and many comments though. And then Brian, he just...
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Maybe he's at peace now. I don't know. I don't know him like that.
I don't know him like that either. I want to look at this though, because I've pulled so many more of these, including another Ponzi scheme being run, Jamie Rivers, who died on ice and then came back to continue playing.
I don't know any of these.
Dead man walking.
Those tornadoes are so scary.
Those tornadoes are scary. I can do so many of these. And if y'all like this, or I think we already said it, but if you've got one that you're like, nobody ever talks about this, send it to us. I'll talk about it.
Write a little thing out explaining it so that we can read it.
And if you don't have the time to write the thing out, I can research it too. If it's a really good story and you're just I just don't have the time. Here it is. Mm-hmm.
We might make this a monthly segment.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? I've got to go get stuff for my Friendsgiving. That's in a couple hours. So.
I need to take Mom the homemade chicken broth I made.
She's so homesteady. She's so capable.
She's so
You need to change your laundry.
I do. My alarm went off when we sat down to record.
Okay, bye. See you next episode. Stay safe out there.
Yeah, stay safe. And remember, if you're getting robbed at Knifepoint, just drive away.
Just say, you're going to have to come back with a gun. Oh, this is America.
This is America.